Good afternoon, everyone. My colleagues and I are here to present to you our findings and provide you with our proposal for Superstore. Here we have strategy, purpose, and perspective. We're proposing that Superstore add IOLabs Connect and Flow into their business so that they can collect more data about their customers and use this information to increase profit. The collection of this data will help you maximize profits while minimizing losses. Once we've instituted these two solutions, we can put Superstore in an excellent position to expand internationally. IOLabs Connect and Flow. IOLabs Connect is an opt-in Wi-Fi portal where the customers give you consent to collect information in return for free Wi-Fi. From there, you can collect customer demographics such as age, relationship status, and/or income. IOLabs Flow allows you to triangulate customers' position in the store, which will allow you to optimize how and where you place your products within the store. This will also help increase sales. New solution, why bother? According to Corte combining Internet of Things, IoT, protocols with big data analytics will deliver a 30% improvement in business operations. This means higher revenues, lower costs, increased profits, lower churn, lesser chance of cart abandonment, and increased customer satisfaction. Risks to avoid. Discounts. When we first started digging into the data, we realized something strange. Sean Miller, the highest paying Superstore customer in the United States, was somehow not profitable. The company was losing almost $2,000 on him over the breadth of the data. At first, we thought it was due to shipping costs and then customer segments, which were all true, but we found a much larger problem, discounts, and we highlighted the 10 least profitable states to prove this. As you can see here on the left, the 10 least profitable states are also the 10 states with the highest discounts. Once we identified this phenomenon, we wanted to see exactly how much had been discounted in total. As you can see, there were a few instances of the order retaining its profitability despite the discounts, but they're in the minority. To put it lightly, the discounts were huge, up to or as much as 70% or $6,000, far too much. We then wanted to compare the least profitable states to the most profitable, and what we found was dramatic. In the most profitable states, here to the left, you can see the difference. The average percentage discount in the most profitable state maxes out at 6%, which shows in Montana, with only 4 states even offering discounts. Below that, it shows the number of distinct discounts and how many were being applied. Now, in this same chart below, you can see that the states with the 1 count is still registering a 0% discount in the chart above. In comparison with the slides to the right, you can see how there are more discounts and the percentages are well over 20%. Final word on discounts. Discounts are best used to close a sale, not to make a sale. That's how you leave money on the table. Lisa Schwartz.
Today I'm going to be talking about profitable segments. When we look at our historical data, we see that consumer segment has been the most profitable segment for us compared to corporate and home office. When we zoom in closely and look at the furniture category, we see that tables are not very profitable, and this is denoted by the red dots. Let's take a closer look at tables, and we see that most of them are non-profitable, and then we can use this to create cost savings for our company. We can hypothesize that the reason for low profits on the tables are probably because of higher competition, discounts offered by sales guys, or the price sensitivity in the market. At the same time, we look at chairs and furnishings and we see that profits on these products are much higher. We need to be mindful of what products in each category are profitable for us when we target a particular segment in an international location. When we look at our top customers, we have different attributes to classify them: profits, quantity, and sales. But when we classify them by profits or sales, we realize that we miss out on most of our volume customers who come towards the later part of the classification. So when we look at the volume attributes, we look at William Brown, John Lee, Steve Carr, when they have 146, 143, 133, 122 products every year. Or when we go back, we we look at that and we don't see them under the sales or the profit classification, which is why it becomes important to look at customers through individual attributes and not create complex decision trees. Every customer is important, and they come back to us every year. When we look at Hunter Lopez, initially he didn't buy much, but in 2017 he came back to buy profitable products from us. So it's important to reinvest what we make through those customers in product development and in the products that are profitable. Example is when we look at Tamara Chand. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you where Tamara Chand is when we do profits, and when we classify them by profits, we look at Tamara Chand and she's number 2 for us. So when we look closely at what she's purchased, in 2016, she bought copiers that were highly profitable, and I would suggest that the company reinvests in product development of the copier machine to make sure that Tamara Chand comes back to us in the future, or customers similar to Tamara Chand give us profits through the products that are profitable, instead of investing that money in something like tables or a different product category which is not as profitable. When we look at sales and cost savings, we see that 12 out of 41 of our sales guys have been underperforming, and they haven't even been achieving 50% of the quota. So I suggest that the company fires them, and then we use these cost savings. When we go down further, we look at the cost savings. By firing these 12 guys, we make close to 900K. The running data suggests that here. And when we use that, we could reduce our prices and offer discounts, try to attract more customers between Jan to July, where you see the lighter blue gradient. And at the same time, between August and December, where the gradient's a little darker, we see that especially during November, most of our sales guys are hitting their targets. So it makes sense to compensate them more and, improve their overachieving sales targets to maximize profits from seasonal sales.
The objective of forecasting is to identify the full range of possibilities and not limited to a set of illusory certainties. Forecasting can probably be looked at as a subset of prediction. Anytime we predict the future, it is a forecast, and all forecasts are predictions, but not all predictions are forecasts. Earlier, we had hypothesized that sales forecasting was not detailed enough due to the lack of IoT sensors. But this slide proves us wrong, as we can now drill down to customer levels, identify ascribed prices to select customers. But this is only as good as it gets. This is the best we're going to get from the forecast data that we can generate at this time. With Owl Labs Connect, we will be able to generate data to classify customer groups, which we will then use to forecast how customer groups will evolve. And based off of that information, we will be able to adjust our business practices accordingly. Our Labs Flow will enable us to make better decisions regarding target market segmentation, media spending, as well as channels. Thank you.
Okay, now I would like to focus on Superstore's target for expansion, Germany. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, why Germany? Well, Germany is an excellent starting place to expand into Western Europe because of its location. It is nice and centrally located on the European continent, as you can see here, meaning that if our expansion does take foothold here and does well in Germany, it will be much easier to expand outwards to get to the rest of the European market. Now, other than its location, expanding into Germany offers many benefits. First of all, as the World Bank quantifies the ease of doing business for foreign direct investment, they take into account, corruption, legislation, taxes, et cetera, et cetera. They have a subset of data called the ease of starting a business by country. Now, as you can see here, Germany comes in at the 4th easiest country in Europe to start a business in. That means they're very welcoming. There might be some tax breaks. Long story short, they're very inviting to foreign direct investment. Now, going back to the location, As you can see, all these other countries, Poland, Austria, Czech Republic, Spain, Switzerland, Luxembourg, Italy, Portugal, we can very easily get to those countries by land as we expand throughout the continent. Also, just driving it home, the World Bank also has the Corruption Perception Index. Now, Germany also ranks high there too, not quite as high. It's ranked ninth, the ninth highest in terms of the least risky, which means we'll have a much easier time setting up there than, say, Italy, where there can oftentimes be a lot of personal connections necessary to get your endeavor off the ground. Now, moving on from the political and country risk aspect of it, let's move over to the German spending by product. As you can see, the highest home good purchased in Germany is furniture and furnishings, carpets, etc., routine household maintenance items, and household appliances. These all fall under the purview of goods that Superstore already sells, which means that we would not even be required to expand the product offerings at Superstore for them to have a chance of success. Last but not least as to why we chose Germany is their ranking on the Human Capital Index by GDP per capita. Basically what this means is that the Germans, they're healthy, they're productive, they go to work, they get paid, they stimulate the economy with that paycheck. Now what that means is we will have an easier time hiring Germans to work in our stores, and the other Germans who don't work for us will be happy to spend their money for us because they're happy, healthy, and employed. Now, despite all the benefits of going to Germany, there are some drawbacks. First would be that Europe, the whole continent, leads the way in consumer data protection. They've recently ratified the General Data Protection Regulation, so that's going to require Superstore to invest heavily in compliance with that code once they start to use the data that they collect from IOLabs Connect and Flow. So the two big aspects of compliance with this act would be the need to pseudonymize or anonymize data, which means they have to make it unidentifiable for the actual person they collected it from. So that would mean, say you get information on me, you wouldn't be able to tell my name, where I work, where I live. It would have to be totally disconnected from the person it's about. Also, you need explicit informed consent to collect or share data, which means there might be an issue with the opt-in for IOLabs Connect, and there may even need to be some kind of posting in the store for the use of IOLabs Flow. Also, it is not a huge market for all of our goods. So while they are shopping for things that we offer, they're not really looking for everything that we offer. So that means that we're going to have to adjust the offering slightly to appeal to the local market. That's not really a problem though, because if we only ship over things we know that the Germans have a taste for, then at the end of the day, it really ends up costing us less anyways. On top of that, German millennials, like the rest of us around the world, are actually shopping online. So, and if they're not shopping online, they're doing their research online and then coming into the store to buy it. So that means we're going to need to perfect the supply chain quickly, because if they are shopping online, we need to be able to provide them with timely delivery. And if they're not shopping online and just doing research, we need to make sure that we have that product in store so that they can come in and purchase it. And here are our sources. As you can see, we have our scholarly sources, everything's cited. Up top, this is the data I used to make the Germany visualization. And here's our interview right here with Lisa. And we're open up for questions. Let us know if you have any.